Hi guys, this is Roscoe0583 here with my review of one of Hot Toys 2012 Toy Fair exclusives. It's the Angelica figure from Pirates of the Caribbean 4 on Stranger Tides. Now this is one of 3 exclusives released by Hot Toys this year, and as you can see I got it through Sideshow, which is why the Sideshow exclusive sticker is on the front of the box. Anyways, let's go take a look at the packaging she comes in. Like with the other 2 Toy Fair exclusives for this year, you've got a nice sturdy box, a nice image of Angelica on the front, played by Penelope Cruz. Got the purple barring down the bottom. This is my favourite style of box, where the inner contents slide out the side. They're generally a lot stronger, and the picture continues around the back. Looks like the deck of a ship on the back. It's got like a blurry image, and we have the warnings down the bottom. I feel this box is a little bit overkill for the character or the figure itself. It is a very light figure and it doesn't come with too much, so the strength of this box isn't really necessary, especially when we have other figures like Jake Sully, which are extremely heavy and large, and he came in a really flimsy box. So sometimes I find it a little bit strange how Hot Toys decide to box their figures. But anyway, once we slide the inner box out, this is what we get. A nice purple colour with the window showing the figure and all the accessories. Angelica there. We have a sort of cartoon style image of a skeleton all down the side on this inner slip here. And you have all different types of cutouts. In this case we have a heart cutout underneath, and a few other areas that are cut out. Now they seem to have done that on all 3 of the Toy Fair boxes, except they correspond to a theme depending on the character. And on the side of this one, down here, there's a smaller image of the skeleton, sort of with a spear trying to stab a heart. So on the back we've got nothing, so pretty nice box, very solid, but probably a bit overkill for the figure, but still very nice. Alright, accessories. Here we get the instruction sheet, as per usual with Hot Toys figures. We get spare hand pegs. Being a female character, they are extremely small, a lot smaller than the male figures, so that's something you have to be careful not to break. So it's good that we got spares. We get a sword here. This one's made to look all weathered and tarnished, which is really nice. We've got the sort of nice handle there. We got a spare right hand. Now this one has a gauntlet section attached to it, or moulded to it. We've got the rings on a hand. Now this is the one that came on the figure. I swapped it over for the one that can hold a sword. Now I had to heat it up because it's obviously a long bit of plastic there. It's hollow, you have to connect to the hand peg. So I had to heat that up with a hairdryer to slide it over the arm. But that's pretty nice. But on the other side, the left hand, we got 2 spares, and they're just standard hand sculpts. You can see you got the tattoo on the side of the hand of the cross and more rings. So there's quite a bit of detail on those hands. You also get what we got with Jack Sparrow is his compass. That all opens up and closes. One thing I like is we get the chalices. Got both of them here. I would have rather these come with Jack Sparrow. He had them in the film more so than Angelica, but it's still good that we've finally been able to get them now. They don't have the text on it, Aqua, and I can't remember the other name. They all had their own individual name, but that's good. But I find they'll pose a lot nicer with Jack rather than Angelica. But they're a nice accessory. We get the voodoo doll, which is soft plastic, and it's been painted. We get a dagger, which actually really nice considering its size. And the rest of the accessories I have on the figure now. So if we look at Angelica, I've got the hat on her now. I actually prefer her without the hat, but I've got it on at the moment just to show you guys. Very nicely detailed. Got the feather. I think it's a real feather. So overall very nice. We also get her cross and necklace, which you have to remove her head and slide that over the neck post. The neck and body is one solid piece. They've even tattooed on her chest. I'm sure you can see just the top of it next to the right part of the cross. So they've picked up some detail there. You get this strap that holds her sheath to put a sword in. That's really nicely detailed. Has a little clip, you have to poke that through a little hole, just like you would with a normal belt. A lot of detail on it, as you can see there. You got these three sections here where you got to slide the sword sheath all the way through. And then you get a second sword, which is a bit more detailed than the one I first showed you. And that fits in really nicely. As per usual, we got the Hot Toys stand, Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides. We got Angelica on the nameplate. So overall there's not too many accessories, but it's fitting for the figure or the character, and it still looks very nice. Alright, I'm going to take the hat off and show you the head sculpt. Now this head sculpt's been copying a fair bit of flack on Facebook and by the collectors. I actually think it does look like Penelope Cruz. Obviously I think they could have rushed this figure a little bit along with the Captain America. I find the Jim Gordon's the better of the three. But being a female character, you can understand why there's not as many blemishes or creases on the face, and why people could probably say it looks a bit plastic. It is a female character, so the skin's going to be a lot smoother. They probably could have put a bit more makeup around the eyes, just like it is on the box. You can see it's quite thick, whereas here it's a bit thin. I think one thing that throws it off, or two things that throws it off, is the expression. The expression is a little bit lifeless, even though the sculpt I think does look really accurate. I think the expression does throw it off. It's a bit vague. And this is a figure that really needs to be posed properly to maximise the likeness. Now, you have to do that with a lot of figures, but this one I feel more so. And I think the key to doing that is to pose the hair properly. Now, I've seen this figure pose with the hair pulled right back, and exposes the head sculpt way too much in the jawline and can really throw the likeness off. Now, one thing you have to do is sort of just work the hair around to cover most of the sides of the face. This side you can see it sort of hangs down more so than the other side. Hot Toys have sort of layered it, they've cut it and chopped it in like different length sections, whereas in the prototype we saw it all straightened, which was wrong. I feel it looks more like the movie now, where it's all hanging out everywhere, like it's like how it's Breezy when she's on the ship. So I think it looks more accurate now, but the thing is, once you get out of the box, you really got to put it in the right spot. I think that's what's letting a lot of people's opinions down, is not being able to pose it properly. But once I got the hair in the right spot, I found it look a lot better than when I pulled it straight out of the box. So if you look at the hair, they've added a couple of different colours. Sorry, just focus that. Okay. You got black and brown, and that hair sort of fits into like a black housing, and the top of the head is hollow, and they've slotted that in the top of the head and glued it down. That's how they've managed to put the real life looking hair on this character. This is the first figure I've got that has that type of hair. Mine are all usually sculpted, my female characters that I've got in the collection so far. So you can say it's my first Barbie doll style of hair on a figure, but I think it still looks good. But just, yeah, you just got to play around with it a little bit to get it more natural. Now if we look at the clothing, it's done really well. Got a nice patterning throughout her coat. There's no wire throughout it like in the DX Jack Sparrow. It hangs really well, so I don't feel you need it. You got the white top. You got the black cummerbund in there, it's strapped on really nicely. Got all these different gold jewels hanging off there, off a belt or off a waist. Got that belt there with all different sort of clips and buckles. The inner waistcoat is really detailed. It's a shame that so much of it's hidden away. There's a lot happening on that, and majority of it's covered up. So some parts of this figure, a lot of the effort is covered up and hidden away. Here we have her pants, which are really nicely tailored. They fit the female true type really nice. And we have her boots. Now the boots are really soft and thin, so you get maximum posability out of the feet. So there's no hindrance there. In the elbow areas here, the joints, when I opened out the box, it was sort of bent a little bit, but then wouldn't go too far. I was wondering why it was stopping. On this figure, it was put on back to front, so I just had to, if you're getting it, just be careful. Turn it around, and then you find that it bends up properly, because it does go back a little bit as well. And it's also like a ball joint elbow, where on the male figures it's more of a sort of just a right angle joint, and kind of moved to that right angle. So yeah, there's a little bit of a different joint on the female true type than there is on the male, I've just found out. So overall very good. I think it's a worthy addition to the Pirates collection. Obviously it's not for everyone. It's a good idea that Hot Toys decided to do it as an exclusive. Obviously they're not going to have a massive sellout compared to a Batman figure, so not as many are going to need to be done. So having it as an exclusive is quite fitting for the figure or the character. But overall I like it. Obviously they could have done a little bit better on it, but we can't have perfection every time, I don't think, and it is pretty close. There you have it, guys. Hope you enjoyed this review of Angelica. Had a bit better look of how she really looks, not some of the poor photos that have been posted on Facebook. So I'll leave it up to you. Let me know what you think, and I'll get back to your comments whenever I can. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. See you with my next review. Bye for now.